The Georgia high school that made headlines last week for suspending 2 students who had posted viral images of crowded halls in their school has now actually decided to switch to online learning for obvious reasons. Take a look.
This weekend, the principal of that school told families that at least 6 students and 3 staff members have tested positive. And now, another 24 hours later, we're seeing this letter from the superintendent saying Monday and Tuesday, they're going all virtual. So the entire campus can be disinfected so that they can have time to consult with the public health department on what to do next.
So I want to remind you all of what that one of those viral images looked like. This was posted on Twitter. Hannah Waters is the 15-year-old student who shared that image because she was concerned about the lack of social distancing in her Georgia school. And she was right to be concerned about the lack of social distancing because people have contracted the virus. Now, after there was backlash, the school decided to reverse the suspensions, but it really doesn't matter at this point. No one's gonna be in class today. No one was in class today because of the fact that they had to switch to online learning immediately because of a coronavirus outbreak, because they didn't social distance.
Yeah, so if the original order was, oh yeah, you're suspended and are not allowed to come into school, bit of a win, right? So, look, guys, the school reopenings are a complicated issue. In places like New York and New Jersey, where the virus is way, way down, there is an argument to be made that you theoretically could go in. But the problem is some people are gonna get it, especially in places where the numbers are still high, Georgia, Texas, Arizona, California, et cetera. And when they inevitably get it, like happened in this particular school, 6 people, 3, and more importantly, 3 staffers, because staffers are older and more likely to honestly pass away from it. So what are you gonna do? Be like, oh, whatever, keep going? No, you're gonna pull them back. Everybody's gonna pull them back. Why? The parents are gonna flip out, and let alone the teachers. Like even if you crush the teachers, the parents are not gonna send their kids to a school that is infected. It's just not gonna happen. So this is trying to reopen the schools as much as some people want to, it's just not realistic. And so the idea that, by the way, the kids can't get it, pushed by Donald Trump, is a complete and utter lie. The fact that it doesn't affect them as much is true, but not completely true, as you're about to see. We're gonna give you more facts on that.
Right, so recently we shared some new data showing that some children do suffer some pretty serious neurological issues if they contract the virus. But we're also learning that children do also contract the virus at a higher rate than what was previously thought. So new analysis shows that more than 97,000 children in the United States tested positive for coronavirus in the last 2 weeks of July alone. In those 2 weeks, there was a 40% increase in child cases across the states and cities that were studied. And also at least 86 children have died since May, and that's according to a new report. Last week, a 7-year-old boy, for instance, with no pre-existing conditions, became the youngest coronavirus victim in Georgia. In Florida, 2 teenagers died earlier this month, bringing the state's death toll of minors to 7. And there's a lot of misinformation, I think, on purpose, on conservative news outlets like Fox News, which would explain why Ainsley Earhart seems to be so shocked at this recent data involving children. She talked to a health expert about it, and let's just take a quick look at that exchange.
We're all worried about sending our kids back to school. What is that going to look like for our country and for our elderly grandparents and things like that? 97,000 kids have tested positive. That was such a shock to me because I had heard kids really don't get it. If they do, they're all going to be okay. Do you know any details about that?
So the health expert was actually great. So all her answers were right. But the best part about that video, which is what we showed you, is just how shocked Ainsley Earhart is, right? Because she genuinely seemed shocked by this. She genuinely thought no, everything's totally fine with kids. I believe the president, they're not spreading this virus. It's totally safe to reopen the schools. But no, your favorite president is lying to you and doesn't actually care about your well-being or the well-being of your children.
Now, look, Trump's followers are as stupid as you thought they were. Fox News hosts are as stupid as you thought they were. Trump said that kids are almost definitely immune from this. No, they're not. That's not remotely true. But idiots like Ainsley Earhardt are like, well, if Trump said it must be true. All right, let's throw our kids right into it, right? No, kids can get it from day one. That has been crystal clear. They are not at all immune from it. They could definitely get it. But it is also true that it does not affect them as severely as older people. So give context to the 86 kids who died. Some of them have pre-existing conditions. It is really depressing and alarming to see some of them did not have pre-existing conditions. Now, having said that, 86 is a very small number in a country of 330 million people. So any kid who dies is a tragedy beyond comprehension, okay? But I'm giving you the full context. At the same time, this idea that they're pushing out there, what's the big deal? Let's just reopen the schools. It's wrong on several counts. Like I said, they can get it, but more importantly, once they get it, even if you think 86 is a low number of deaths for kids, obviously they could pass it on to their parents, their grandparents, to the teachers. That's what we've always been worried about. But the Ainsley Earharts of the world, like, oh my God, I didn't know they could get it. Is it true that they could pass it on? Yes, of course it's true. And that's what we've been worried about from day one.
So the United States, in terms of the transmission of this virus, is the worst country. Coming in at number 2 is Brazil. And some new data says that the United States topped 5 million reported infections over the weekend. And at least 162,938 people have died since the start of the pandemic, more than any other country in the world. And I want to note that, unfortunately, as high as those numbers are, it is likely an underestimate because there are some states that are fudging with the numbers, that aren't reporting things accurately, and it's something to keep in mind. If you're alarmed at these numbers, you should be. But even more unfortunate is these numbers are an underestimate of where this country is with the virus.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.